We've been tracking these explosive days of our lives storylines for weeks, and the Tuesday, July 28th episode is going to blow your mind. The drama is peaking, the lies are unraveling, and the DiMera walls are closing in. Let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with Xander Cook Kiriakis. According to the latest intel, Xander has a massive theory, and you won't believe who he is sharing it with. He is taking this straight to Sarah Horton and Brady Black. Amazing. Just think about the sheer magnitude of this trio sitting in a room together without someone throwing a punch. Xander Cook Kiriakis and Brady Black have decades of bad blood, mostly revolving around Kristen DiMera and Sarah Horton. But right now, they are united by a common goal: uncovering the absolute truth behind the tainted Coriseal drugs that killed Destiny, and potentially figuring out who is snatching people off the streets of Salem. Peacock TV spoilers. We've been tracking this for weeks, and I personally believe Xander's theory is going to blow the roof off DiMera Enterprises. Let's be real for a second. Xander Cook Kiriakis used to be the Kiriakis family's resident hitman. He was the guy Victor called when a problem needed to disappear. But look at his evolution. Now, he is playing detective alongside Brady Black. I am passionately defending Xander's redemption arc here. He is genuinely trying to be a better man for Sarah Horton and little Victoria. Xander knows exactly how the criminal underworld operates. He knows EJ DiMera is covering up the drug scandal. But here's the kicker. I think Xander's theory connects the tainted drugs to the recent disappearances of Gwen Rizczech and Kristen DiMera. Think about the historical irony here. Years ago, Xander was complicit in keeping Sarah Horton trapped on DiMera Island. Now, Kristen DiMera and Gwen Rizczech are the ones who have been kidnapped, likely dumped on that exact same island. Karma is truly beautiful, isn't it? Xander knows the DiMera playbook better than anyone, and he is finally using his dark past for good to protect the woman he loves. Moving on to the teenage angst portion of our Salem drama, Tate Black and Holly Jonas finally make up. Can you believe it? After weeks of bitter fighting, tears, and absolute chaos, these two are burying the hatchet. But if you ask me, this is a huge mistake, because their foundation is built on toxic secrets and unresolved trauma. Let's unpack the psychology here. Holly Jonas is an absolute emotional wreck. She is carrying the heavy, agonizing guilt of Sophia Choi's death, dealing with the relentless, vengeful wrath of Amy Choi, and trying to navigate her own fragile mental health. And then, out of nowhere, Tate Black finds a stash of pills in her hospital bag. We all know EJ DiMera planted those pills to frame her, but the damage to Tate and Holly's trust was catastrophic. Here's my hot take for the day. Tate Black needs to run for the hills. I know, some of you love this pairing, but I am going to ruthlessly criticize the way Tate Black is being written right now. He is inheriting the absolute worst traits of his father, Brady Black. Brady Black has a massive, destructive hero complex. He is constantly drawn to broken, manipulative, or deeply traumatized women. Hello, Kristen DiMera. Now, Tate Black is doing the exact same thing with Holly Jonas. He wants to save her. He wants to be her knight in shining armor. But Holly Jonas doesn't need a boyfriend right now. She needs intensive therapy and a safe space away from the DiMera mansion. Their reconciliation on Tuesday might look sweet on the surface, but it is just a temporary band-aid on a gaping psychological wound. They are going to crash and burn, and it is going to be spectacular to watch. Now, let's talk about the absolute queen of deception, Kate Roberts Brady. On Tuesday, Kate is going to grovel. She is apologizing to her husband, Roman Brady, and begging for forgiveness. That's crazy. Kate Roberts Brady actually admitting she was wrong? Mark your calendars, people. But let's dive deep into why she is apologizing. Xander Cook Kiriakis completely blew her cover by confessing to Johnny DiMera about the lawsuit trap. Kate orchestrated this massive, convoluted scheme to ruin Johnny DiMera, and she lied straight to Roman Brady's face about it. I have a clear love-hate relationship with Kate Roberts Brady. I absolutely love her ruthless business acumen and her impeccable style, but I absolutely despise how she treats Roman Brady. Roman is the moral compass of Salem, a legendary former police commander, and he constantly lets Kate walk all over his principles. Will Roman Brady accept her apology? I personally believe he shouldn't. Roman Brady has a history of being incredibly gullible when it comes to the women he loves. Think back to all the times Kate Roberts Brady has destroyed their trust, the corporate espionage, the secret alliances with Stefano DiMera, the constant, never-ending manipulations. Kate's survival instinct always overrides her loyalty to her husband. She isn't apologizing because she feels genuine remorse. She is apologizing because she got caught red-handed. If Roman Brady takes her back, he is just giving her permission to lie to him again in the future. The psychological dynamic between these two is fascinating but deeply toxic. Kate Roberts Brady needs to face the wrath of EJ DiMera and Johnny DiMera without Roman shielding her from the consequences of her own actions. It is time for her to pay the piper. Finally, we have the most intense showdown of the episode. Marlena Evans is going to try and convince EJ DiMera to do the right thing. I hope she cleared her entire schedule for the day, because this is going to be a monumental uphill battle. EJ DiMera is currently spiraling completely out of control. His entire world is collapsing around him. The Rizczech serum he forced Dr. Wilhelm Roth to give Lexi Carver is failing. Lexi Carver is dying all over again, and Abe Carver and Theo Carver are directing their absolute, unadulterated fury right at EJ DiMera. EJ is cornered, defensive, and lashing out like a wounded animal. And when a DiMera is wounded, they are at their absolute most dangerous. This reminds me so much of what Stefano DiMera did back in the day. Whenever Stefano was losing control of his empire or his family, he would double down on his cruelty and manipulation. EJ DiMera is doing the exact same thing right now. He is covering up the Coriseal drug deaths, framing innocent teenagers like Holly Jonas, and trying to outmaneuver Kat Green's ISA trap. Marlena Evans is the only person in Salem with the psychological training and the historical experience to handle a spiraling DiMera. She survived decades of Stefano DiMera's obsession. She knows exactly how to navigate their massive God complexes. Predictive lore time. I think Marlena Evans is going to use reverse psychology on EJ DiMera. She isn't going to yell at him. She is going to calmly, clinically dissect his failures. She will point out that his actions are actively destroying Johnny DiMera's respect for him. EJ DiMera's biggest fear is losing his children, just like Stefano DiMera constantly lost the loyalty of his kids.
If Marlena Evans can tap into EJ's deep-seated fear of becoming a failed father, she might actually break through his icy exterior and force him to surrender the truth about the drugs and Lexi Carver's condition.
But honestly, EJ DiMera might be way too far gone into the darkness to be saved. This Tuesday episode is setting the stage for an incredibly explosive August. The Kiriakis, DiMera, and Brady families are on a massive collision course, and not everyone is going to survive the fallout. So, I have to ask you guys, do you think Roman Brady should forgive Kate Roberts Brady for her massive betrayal? Or is it finally time for him to file for divorce and leave her in the dust? Let me know your hottest takes down in the comments below. I want to read every single one of your theories. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to Peacock TV Spoilers so you never miss an update on your favorite Salem drama. See you in the next video.